What if every possible version of you from every timeline, past, present, future, infinite, alternate, hypotheticals, all of them shared a single group chat? Imagine chatting with the smartest version of you, the most successful, the most fun, or maybe the coolest. Getting relationship advice from the version of you that's already hit the jackpot could be handy. Or maybe you just want to read the unfiltered roasting that the version that never got over high school would throw at everyone. Maybe it's a bit of both. There are infinite versions of you out there, but how would they act in a group chat? Would they be kind, cruel, helpful, hurtful? What would happen when all of those different people met? And what would that say about you? Welcome to Other Side, where today we're exploring a world where your identity is a conversation. This is Other Side. Who's in the chat? Picture yourself walking into a room and seeing every version of you sitting there. There's your 7-year-old self still rocking the training wheels on their bike outside. Beside them sits the you that will become a billionaire. A version wearing pajamas that's just rolled out of bed, you as a space explorer, standing tall in your astronaut suit. Across from you sits your doppelganger who's chosen a different career, a different life, perhaps even a different species. And there's the you that never left home. There's also the you that chose to speak up against bullying. The you that started the TikTok trend last year. The possibilities are really endless here because there are infinite versions of you. How would they interact? Which version of you would step up to start the conversation? Would the most confident, the funniest or the noisiest version take charge? Or would it be silent at first, everyone typing, waiting for someone else to break the ice? Maybe the job version cracks a few dad jokes and the book smart version rolls their eyes. The goth version posts a My Chemical Romance lyric while the preppy version says something like, I literally can't even. The cool version drops some sick beats they made while the nerdy version posts about string theory. Your childhood self shows off a drawing they did at school while the Space Explorer version talks about the rings of Saturn. Everyone's talking now, catching up with everyone else's lives, sharing stories and experiences from their realities, comparing notes on how things turned out. The drama. There might be some uncomfortable silences as some alternate versions of you reveal some not so great aspects of yourself. Alternate versions of you might get into petty arguments about which career path was better, or who had the more fulfilling life. Some might defend their choices while others roast them mercilessly. Imagine the argument of whether or not pineapple belongs on pizza, but now imagine it's between your entire identity, every belief, decision and experience of yours, all fighting it out in a group chat. It could be pretty entertaining. Some alternate versions of you might use the chat to gloat. Maybe the richest version throws around their net worth, while the most accomplished one posts about their awards and recognition. Other versions might try to keep up, desperately seeking validation in a sea of accomplishments and achievements. It could be a lot to handle, especially for the younger versions of you. The job version might try to change the subject, bringing up the latest sports scores to ease the tension. But the bookworm version is having none of it, ranting about how superficial sports are. There's an awkward silence again, but then the job version brings up some scandalous gossip, dishing out the juiciest details they know. Suddenly everyone's paying attention. Then the gossip version chimes in, adding their own spicy tidbits. The room is buzzing with chatter now. Ripples. Being exposed to all these versions of yourself could be overwhelming. As you absorb their traits, quirks, mannerisms, opinions and beliefs, you feel yourself changing, evolving into someone new, hopefully for the better. Their interactions could trigger a ripple effect within you, causing you to reassess your decisions, beliefs and actions. You might find yourself questioning your own identity, wondering what choices you could have made, what paths you could have taken. You may start to doubt yourself, feeling inadequate compared to the accomplishments of certain versions of yourself. Or you might gain confidence, realizing the potential you possess. It might be challenging to navigate these feelings, to balance the different parts of yourself, but it could lead to personal growth, helping you discover new strengths and weaknesses. You might learn to accept all aspects of yourself, including the ones you might find less desirable. This journey of self-discovery could be both enlightening and unsettling as you confront your deepest fears and insecurities, but also your greatest aspiration and dreams. Your alternate selves might start posting videos, pictures, and voice memos. A movie version of you might drop a 1-minute trailer of the life they live. The you that became an astronaut might share a video of a sunset on Mars. The rich version could post a tour of their mansion. The average version might share a link to their Spotify playlist. There could be polls asking for votes on which TV show is best. Arguments over sports teams and rivalries flare up again. Someone posts a meme and a few versions of you comment with the same joke. It's hard to tell which one of you is funnier here. Origins. But how does this group chat come to be? Perhaps it's a glitch in the system, a momentary lapse in your consciousness that allows you to briefly glimpse all of the versions of you that could have been. It's a mental exercise gone awry, a mind link experiment that went horribly wrong. Maybe you were researching ways to connect minds and accidentally opened a wormhole in the process. You were trying to contact the you of an alternate universe and instead created a connection with all of the yous that could have been. Maybe it happens because you fall asleep deeply immersed in a dream, where you have a conversation with your subconscious. A conversation that feels so real it continues even when you wake up. The echo of your subconscious thoughts persists, becoming a chorus of voices that whisper in your ear, your own personal Greek chorus. Maybe it's a gift from the universe, a chance for you to see all of the possibilities that exist, to understand that every choice, every decision leads to infinite outcomes. Maybe it's a curse, a constant reminder of all the things you could have been, all the roads not taken, all the mistakes made. You might feel overwhelmed, confused, desperate to disconnect from the chatter in your head, but also curious, intrigued, wanting to know more. You're trapped in a paradox of your own making, struggling to find your place in the grand scheme of things. So this is you. You talk to all of yourselves, and some of you are more interesting than others. There's a biker you, a hippie you, an evil you. There's also a quiet you that doesn't say much. You notice that this you likes the same music as you, and suddenly you wonder, are you this one? Which one of you are you really? And if you could have any version of you join you in the real world, who would it be? The coolest you, the smartest you, the strongest you, the you with the most stories, the best advice, the one that makes you laugh the hardest? And if you could snip any version of you from existence, who would it be? The quiet one, the mean one, the depressed one, the one that hurts the most? Would you save a life by removing a version of you that ended up going down a dark path? Which part of yourself do you want to listen to the most? Which one do you want to ignore? Are you made up of all of yourselves? Which one of you are you really? We'd love to hear your thoughts. If this mind-mirroring concept has your inner voices shouting at each other, hit that like button and subscribe to Other Side for more curious journeys into alternate realities. Until next time, this is Other Side, taking you beyond the limits of imagination.